श्रीमान वेंकटनाथार्य कवितार्किक केसरी वेदांताचार्य वर्यो में सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि. Nyaasa Vimshati Swami Dasakam has beautifully composed for us to establish the crystal clear upayam, means the way of Paranyasam. And today is the slOkA 10, where he is mentioning that Prapatti is a distinct upayam as declared in Brahma Sutram. Last slOkA he was talking about the Upanishad, Smriti, all that. Now he has quoted even Brahma Sutras, Vedavyasa's Brahma Sutra. slOkA 10. Nana shabdhadi bedati titukata yatha sutrakarena samyak Nyasopase vibhakte yajanahavana chabda bhedad abhaktat Aacchi rupadi bheda shruta yitara samakimchana bhinnadikaraha Shigra prapti adibhi syat jaguriti cha madhu bhasanadau vyavastham Nana shabdadi bedati iti tu katayata sutrakarena samyak Nyasopase vibhakte yajanahavanavat shabda bhedat abhaktat Aacchi rupadi bedaha shruta itarasama kimcha bhinna adhikaraha Shigra prapti adibhi syat jaguriti cha madhu bhasanadau vyavastham. In this slokam, Swami Dasakam gives wonderful fitting reply to two objections which are raised by the opponent. It's not, I won't call opponent, they are having their doubts which are pricking in their mind. They would like to get their doubts clarified. So, okay, we accept the glory of Prapatti, but we are bothered about two doubts. Okay, what are they? This can ask. One, Bhagavad Ramanujaya in Gita Bhashyam, when he was writing the commentary on 18th chapter 66th slOkA, Charama slokam, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Surrender to me and I will absolve you of all papams. Sarva dharman parityajya. Here Prapatti Yogam by Ramanujaya is described as an angam of Bhakti Yoga, because the entire Gita talks about Bhakti Yoga at the end. So, Prapatti or Sharanagati at the feet of Krishna is sought after to remove the hurdles for the Bhakti Yogi to complete their Bhakti Marga, Bhakti Yoga. In order to remove the hurdles, he would clear the path for the Bhakti Yogin to perform Bhakti Yoga. That is the way it has been commented by Bhagavad Ramanujaya. The glories of Prapatti must then be for the Anga Prapatti. It is an Angam of Bhakti Yoga. So, whatever the glory that you have been talking about in the previous slokams are all for the Anga Prapatti. Is it not so? How do you say it is entirely an exclusive means other than the Bhakti Yoga? How do you say? That is one. Secondly, in Sri Bhashyam, Acharya Ramanujaya mentions Prapatti as not as a direct upayam for moksha. How can we accept Prapatti as a distinct and direct upayam for moksha? Direct means for moksha. Two questions. One on Gita Bhashyam, one on Sri Bhashyam. I know Ramanujaya himself has performed Prapatti by reciting the Gadyatrayam, Sharanagati Gadyam, Sriranga Gadyam and the Vaikuntha Gadyam. But he has commented like this Prapatti as an Angam of Bhakti Yogam in Gita Bhashyam, and Prapatti not as a direct Upaya in Sri Bhashyam. He has not established, he has not crystal clear mentioned in Sri Bhashyam. Why is it so? What's the answer? So, though Bhakti and Bhakti Yogam and Prapatti are interrelated, see, Vedanta Desika classifies Bhakti into two categories. In the case of those who resort to Bhakti Yoga, in order to overcome the obstacles standing in the way of commencement of Bhakti Yoga, they perform Prapatti for them to seek the grace of God to overcome the obstacles and for successful completion of Bhakti Yoga. In the case of those who resort to the path of Prapatti as a direct means, na dharmanishthosmi, na chatmavedi, na bhaktiman tvacharanaravinda. Na dharmanishthosmi, no karma yogam. Na cha atmavedi, no jnana yogam. Na bhaktiman, no bhakti yogam. Alavandar mentions, Yamunacharya. Obviously, Ramanuja must be knowing about Acharyan's Thiruvadigale. So, Prapatti can secure the result through the grace of God without any need to follow Bhakti Yogam. So, because the Gita will be read by everyone, it is a sadasyam, not a ragasyam. It should not be thrown thrown to public. That is why he wrote the commentary as if it is part of Bhakti Yogam in Gita Bhashya. Vedanta Desika clarifies this Prapatti into two categories. One is Sadvaraka Prapatti, other is Advaraka Prapatti. Sadvaraka Prapatti is Prapatti as an Angama of Bhakti Yogam. Advaraka Prapatti is Prapatti serving as a direct means to moksha. They are also called Anga Prapatti in the case Prapatti is a subsidiary. And so here Sadvaraka Prapatti is Bhakti Yogam. Advaraka Prapatti is Prapatti Yogam. But though Bhakti and Prapatti are interrelated, they are two distinct but alternative means for moksha. It is also mentioned in Ahirbudnya Samhita Visa Bhaktya Paramaya Prapatyoham Mahamate. So here this is justified on the basis of the principle followed in Vedanta in connections with the different Vidyas. In Brahma Sutram, sage Vyasa refers to many Vidyas. Vidya means the Upasanam for moksha. The Upanishads speak of several types of Upasanas. Dahara Vidya, Sad Vidya, Madhu Vidya, Vaishwanara Vidya, etc. They are called by different names because of the difference in the description of the object of contemplation. That is, namely, Brahman in terms of his different gunams. The instruction for Bhakti Yogam, they say Upasita, Yajeta, Juhuyat. Whereas the instruction for Prapatti Yogam is Sharanam Vraja, Sharanamadai, are the examples of two different sets of Vinay Togai. Do this, do that, Yagam say, Upasanam say. So these are the different Kalyana Gunams which are talked about for each Vidya. Each Vidya is therefore distinct from the others. In Brahma Sutram, it is told in the 3.56 Sutra, Nana Shabdadi Bedad. Swami takes the same sutra and starts the slokam with Nana Shabdadi. So, Nana Shabdadi Bedad, here he mentions. So, Swami so beautifully enlists and explains, according to the author of Shruta Prakashika as well as Vedanta Desika, there are 32 Vidyas, Brahma Vidyas prescribed by the Upanishad that include Nyaasa Vidya, which is same as Paranyasam, Prapatti. So Vedanta Sutra, the Brahma Sutra by Veda Vyasa states that there are various Vidyas and they are alternative means to moksha. to be adopted by the individual. Nana Shabdadi Vedat. They are alternative means to moksha to be adopted by the prapannas, by the mumukshus, in accordance with their mental disposition and capacity. So, prapatti is therefore distinct from bhakti yoga, and the two are laid down as alternative means to moksha, since they both aim to achieve the same goal. The gunams of Bhagavan chosen for prapatti as an independent upayam for direct moksha. What are the gunams for prapatti yoga? Karunyam, Vatsalyam, one side. Other side, his Shakti, his power, his Swami. So that is why the key gunam that we need to contemplate on Perumal is Saulabhya, Shaushilya, Vatsalyam on one side, Swamitvam on the other side. He should be a Swami as well as he should be a Paramakarunika Bhagavan. Only if he has Karunyam, he will pity on us, he will melt at our pitiable plight and our prayer, and he will protect us. But in order to protect us, he has to be a Shaktan, Sarva Shaktan, Sarvajna. And he has to have power. He has to be a Swami. And he has to be a Sarveshwaran. Nobody can question him. So prapatti has the power of being an independent upayam as well as angam of prapatti yoga. That's the highlight. So the Gita Bhashyam chose to highlight only one of the two features, which is an angam for bhakti yoga, because Ramanuja did not want to explicitly mention Gita Bhashyam about the esoteric Ragasyam, which is Sharanagati. Whereas he has explicitly stated in Sharanagati Gadyam that prapatti is the direct upayam for moksham, and observed it in front of Srirangam Divya Dampati on a Panguni Uttaram day. So Gadya specifically advocates independent prapatti, and he quotes the same Gita's Charma Slokam in Sharanagati Gadya as for doing prapatti. Prapatti is done once. Mate bhutatra samshaya, do not have any doubt, Perumal assures Ramanuja. Because you have just uttered the prapatti, dvaya mantram, you have just performed the Sharanagati, do not worry anymore. I will take care. The time of fruition of bhakti and prapatti are different. Bhakti yogam is a continuous observance. Prapatti is done once. There are two differences. Prapatti bears fruit at the end of one's life. They have asana. Bhakti yogam yields fruit in a delayed manner after few janmas. Bhakti upayam demands a candidate to be able, knowledgeable, waiting, powerful, uninterrupted contemplation. Prapatti expects the opposite, inability to pursue the rigorous bhakti upayam, and inadequacy in intellectual contemplation, or no patience to wait for next life for moksham. We want in this life. That's the beauty. But when Vedavyasa himself is a bhakti yogi, why did he do that? Why did he do that? Why did he advise this prapatti? That's because you can see a practical example. Because of their daya, because of the Acharya's daya. Even if you can take Nammalvar was like a yogi. He could have performed bhakti yoga, but he did prapatti. Why did he do that? He is called Prapanna Jana Santana Kutastar, the chief of Prapannas. Why? Because even in our home, the grandfather or the father would do Nirjala Upavasam, Ekadasi Upavasam. They would not eat anything. They would not have even a drop of water on a Ekadasi. But they will say, the little boy, 7-8-year-old boy, and little girl, the daughter-in-law, they can have something like some yogurt or some buttermilk or some kanji, porridge, some idli, some palaharam, some fruits. They would keep feeding the babies, the children, and the women folk. Why? Do they not want the children to also adopt the same rigorous upayam, means the upavasam? They don't, because they know that these children are not strong enough to withhold or strong enough to withstand that particular upavasam's intricacies. So that is why they have advised against complete nirjala upavasam. We have to understand in similar fashion why Nammalvar had performed Sharanagati and showed us as the role model. Adiyen, Dhanyosmi. Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunasaline Srimathe Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha.